Can you get a new passport along with a brand new name with the least amount of headache? Yes, the answer is yes. I'm going to discuss the options, right? Which are the countries that offer a citizenship? They offer you an immediate passport and you're not going to wait for too long. You're instantly going to get a citizenship. And they also offer an option or the opportunity right at the onset before you obtain your citizenship or at the time of obtaining your citizenship. You have the ability to pick a new name for yourself. Now, before I discuss these options, the first question is it legal? And second question is, why would you want to get a new name? What is the reason? I'm going to discuss the type of people that ask for this kind of an option. The first question, is it legal? Now, there are two pathways of changing your name, right? The first pathway is you go to the court, you explain your reason, and you decide to change your name from a previous name to a new name. That's a name change procedure. Each country has a different process or mechanism to go and legally change your name. Once you do that process, that's a basic process that exists in most countries. Once you complete that process, typically you are required to have the same new name across all your identities. And if you're caught with your previous name, you want to have this name change certificate where you can prove that yes, your previous name or your birth name or the name on your birth certificate, why that does not match up with the new name that you've assumed. So you need to bridge the gap always. That's the traditional, the typical process. The new process or the interesting process is changing your name without such order, but at the time of obtaining a new citizenship, that country gives you the opportunity to upgrade, update your name without the name change certificate. There are a couple of countries. One is a citizenship by exception country. There are a couple of citizenship by exception countries that allow you to change your name at the time of obtaining the citizenship. And then there is a citizenship by investment country where you're not donating money, you're not gifting money, you're not parting away with cash, you're simply investing your cash in your asset, and that gives you a citizenship for next to free. And it also gives you the opportunity to pick a local name for yourself. Now, is it legal? 100% it is legal. Why? Now, it's legal for cultural reasons. So when you are becoming a citizen, you want to assume a cultural, regional, national name for that country. It might make it easy for people to address you. It might make it easy for you to integrate, blends perfect with the culture of the country. And when you're doing local business, if you have a local name, it makes life easy for you. So there is that provision. What are the citizenship by exception countries? One is an European country where this could be possible. Second is an African nation, right? In Africa, there are options, there are processes by which you can legally obtain a citizenship along with a new name, right? Legally done correctly, using the right forms. You're not using a name change certificate per se. When you are assuming citizenship, once you're going to get issued the nationality certificate, that is the right time. Just before that, you want to make sure you're ready with your new name. Why do people need it? Is it advisable to do this? Well, for most people, this makes life complicated. There's a big con where your birth certificate name is not going to match up with your citizenship name. Now, if you're going to apply for residencies using this passport, then that may make life complicated. If you're not going to file for new residencies or get new citizenships associated with the new passport that you just obtained, then that's fine. A lot of people will keep this passport for other purposes, right? And other purposes is legal purpose, right? You should not do anything illegal or anything wrong with a new passport with a new name, because that's going to get caught and you're going to land yourself in trouble. That is exactly what you don't do using these type of documents. This is for extreme privacy. You are a high profile target. You're keeping things legal. You're following all the laws, and legally you need extreme privacy when you're traveling, when you're re-establishing yourself in a new country, or when you're relocating temporarily or permanently. You want to have security and protection. You want to protect your identity legally. those type of people who genuinely need a new passport with a new name, yes, this can be beneficial. Now, what is the country, the CBI, right? Citizenship by investment country. Now, before I continue with this, one quick favor I would like to ask you, please check your subscription. And if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, here I break news on any new programs, any changes. So the moment there's any new citizenship or residency or any change, I promise you, you will be notified. So please do me a favor, go ahead and turn on that subscription. Now, the citizenship by investment country, where the name change is legally possible, and this is one of the most used options globally. And this is the nation of Turkey, the Turkish citizenship by investment. I'm going to discuss the entire process of the workflow with the Turkish citizenship. Before I discuss that, what are the different options under which you can get the Turkish citizenship and what is the most advisable or recommended option? Now, this is not immigration, legal or tax advice. This is just my personal opinion. And at any point in time, you are interested in legally striking or doing this, right? The Turkish citizenship or any citizenship exceptions that I keep talking about, you can always click the link, book a call, have a quick chat, and then accordingly get you started with the option, the citizenship of your choice. Now, for the Turkish citizenship, there are two options. One is you purchase a property. This is your own property, you're not spending money, you're not wasting money. This is your own property. Turkey just launched the 20-year tax holiday, meaning if in the last 3 years, if you were not a Turkish tax resident, then you can become one, and then you're paying zero taxes on your foreign income. It's going to function territorial, and that's a big change. That's a tax holiday that Turkey has come out with. That's super exciting for a lot of people who are thinking of getting the Turkish citizenship. Now it makes one more reason to get it, right? Go for it. Now, you purchase your own property worth 400K on the open market. So it's all up to you. You do a crappy investment, you're going to lose money. You make a smart investment, you're going to make money. If you are doing that smart investment, getting the right property, let's say you have the expertise in choosing the right real estate and the right location. And we have teams across different locations, good locations. Of course, we can recommend good places where you can look at, but you can decide on the open market what kind of property makes sense to you. And if you do the right type of investment, then you can actually make money when you exit your investment. So that's one way. The second way is the bank deposit option. You invest 500K in a bank in a fixed deposit, lock it up for 3 years, and you get the same Turkish citizenship. How much time? 6 to 8 months. You can expect your citizenship to be finalized with the bank deposit option. With the property option, I would say 8 to 10 months, you can think about getting your citizenship. Which one is the better option? The better option is, I think, real estate in 2026, because the bank deposit is no longer protected. So yes, you can earn that 35-40% interest even. But if the lira tanks at any point in time when you're doing the transaction, either when you're making the transaction or when you're withdrawing your cash, then you have that risk of losing some money with the bank deposit option. The real estate option is always safer because of the inflation. People want to invest in the real estate market, and if you have a good investment, then you can always tend to make money. So having said, yes, real estate is the best option for Turkey. Now, how does this work? You decide your investment, right? You choose your property. Once you have finalized your property, you invest, you buy the property, and then you are ready to file your citizenship. Then you apply for your citizenship, and our team helps you go through the whole process, right? So end-to-end coverage the moment you decide to do this. When your citizenship is approved, at that time, you're going to select or tell them about your new name. And this is the key step. This is the step that you don't want to miss. This is where it's done. And during the initial registration, the name appearing on your Turkish ID record can be established in the Turkish citizenship documentation process. So this is only available. One key thing over here, the biggest thing to remember here is that this is an initial name registration with the citizenship, and this is done during the citizenship process. No prior name change certificate is required. If you miss the step, if you don't do it at this time, then changing your name later after you have already obtained your Turkish citizenship, you just can't pick it after that. That's sealed, that's finalized, and then you would have to go through a separate legal administrative name change process like you would do in any other country. So it's not equal. So this step is very important. Once you have finalized the name, your national identity is created with your new name. The two options, you can either pick a Turkish name or you can assume a Turkish alphabet, right? So even if whatever your name is, they're translating and they're writing it in Turkish because they want to write that in Turkish in the Turkish passport, then because of that script change, your name is going to change anyways. It might look very similar, identical to your real name, or your previous name. But if you want to entirely change it, you want to assume a completely different or new Turkish identity, then that is also an option. The con with that is that it's just so different. It's very obvious when you're traveling. It's not a minor variation or a translation. It's a completely brand new name. So it's up to you. It's up to you how much security versus complexity you want to create. Complexity if you're traveling with multiple travel documents. If you're switching your passport mid-journey, then it's going to be difficult with that very different name. But if your name is fairly identical except the Turkish variation in script, then you can explain that change when you're traveling, so that might make it easy. It's completely up to you. It's a balancing act, right? What you're exactly looking for. Once that new name is on your identity, then of course you apply for your Turkish passport. You get your Turkish passport with your new name. So this is the whole Turkish CBI, Turkish citizenship by investment. And as I said, there's citizenship by exception. Now, what is the difference between a citizenship by investment versus citizenship by exception? Citizenship by investment, because it's open to all, they have extreme vetting process. They have different background companies trying to run different checks. So if you're okay with publicly doing a public program and supplying a lot more information that normally required in a citizenship by exception process, then CBI works, right? Like the Turkish CBI. And then if you're looking for a quick option in 30 days or 40 days, which is an extremely fast citizenship by exception process, which is private between you and the country that's offering you that exception. Under an exception, usually you waive a lot of the normal requirements, like you waive the language requirements, you waive the residency requirements, you waive a lot of different kind of processes that typically are required. So you get your citizenship much faster. And as I said, there's an African process, there is an European process where this can be established, and you can always reach us and we can guide you with the different citizenship options that are at play. Overall pros and cons: if you're looking for extreme diversity, extreme privacy, you need extreme protection, then a new name could be useful. Those are the type of people who come asking for it. If you don't need it to that extreme level, just want to keep things simple, avoid any major hassles of traveling with two documents at the same time. Again, you're traveling with one document in a single journey, then yes, it's okay. But if you need 2 or 3 passports when you're traveling during one journey, then having different names is going to complicate your situation. Then I would say just getting multiple passports with the exact same name would make sense. And before you go, let me know your thoughts. Is there any major benefit that you think comes with a new name on a new passport? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is it useful, and how is it useful? What is the use case that you have in your mind that you think is beneficial with this type of a change? And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.